Hey guys, it's JP554731 and I just wanted to do a quick maintenance video on the YST Yoroiden Samurai Troopers or Ronin Warriors Armor Plus figures from Tamashii Nations and Bandai. These figures are really expensive. Like the first couple figures like Rio and the first five were like 7,000. Now they're coming up to 9,000 with the recent release of Black Inferno or Kuroi Kikote from the OST, I mean, OVA, original video animation movie. Those are direct to video, and it's called Legend of Inferno or Kikote Densetsu. And it features a black Inferno armor, and that's coming out in July of 2014. I've been collecting these figures for at least 5 years now, and I started way back when in 2009 with the first release, Rio. This was a standard release, and the other ones are Tamashii web releases, so that means you can only buy it from the Tamashii Nation site or using a proxy service. Now, you can probably see it here on the hip. Uh, these have a manufacturing defect. I've seen other people complain on forums, and I just wanted to put it out there and show you guys a way on how I maintain my figures. Here I got a couple of loose Under Armour figures. So yeah, I've amassed 14. One for armored, so I can have the armor on the figure, and one set for having them on the statue or like the figure stand. And yeah, this is getting really expensive, and it sucks that they have this defect. So yeah, I'm just getting ready to pose these figures for when I get the Black Inferno, so I'm maintaining them like I said before. And the things you're gonna want to have to maintain these figures, at least the hip joints, I'm gonna show you an invasive way of doing it and a non-invasive way of doing it. So you're gonna want to have, for the non-invasive way, you're gonna want to have Q-tips, or less invasive. You're gonna want this painter's tape, and I'll show you why in a minute. And you're gonna want to have this Vaseline. You can get this at Walmart or whatever. I actually, going back to the painter's tape, I actually like this brand, this Scotch 3M, because it's really easy to work with. I like the feel of the outside of the tape, because it's not as rough as the regular dark blue painter's tape, and also it's not as adhesive, so it's not going to stick onto your figure that well. And you're going to want to have something pointy, like a barbecue skewer or a toothpick. This one broke on me. This is actually from Gaia Notes. They're a paint company from Korea, and then you can get this on HLJ, Hobbylink Japan, AmiAmi, or 1999.co.jp. Hobby Search is what they call themselves, but the URL is 1999.co.jp /ENG for English. Well, anyways, you're going to want to take that and just form it, stick it to the figure itself. Like I said, the Vaseline, I don't know the long-term effects on the paint, so if you want to if you just want to be cautious, you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to take that Q-tip and dip it in the Vaseline. I already did it. And just go in there and put some Vaseline in there, and then just gently rotate the hip joint. The most common breaks I see is like if the hip joint stays in place, or actually the thigh. if I'm trying to rotate the thigh, you're going to want to do it more proximal to the hip. So what I like to do is I like to grip the opposite thigh with my thumb, and then with my pointer finger I like to grip the proximal part of the hip, the one that I'm rotating the joint with, and like do like that, rotate it like that. What you don't want to do is take your grip the farthest point, or like the most distal from the point of attachment or the hip joint, and just rotate it, because you're gonna most likely, the hip is or the thigh is gonna stay in place. It's gonna be stuck, and then you're gonna use a lot of force, and then it's just gonna the hip is just gonna tear itself into pieces. I don't know how it does it, but there's just pressure that builds onto the hip joint. This hip joint is really crappy, and I don't know why they made it two pieces. They should have just made it one piece, and I guess that's what attributes to the all the hip fractures. Also, one thing to note, here I have the Tamishi Nations Bandai. These are Stage Act Volume 5 stands, and these are for robots or mechs, but I like to use them for YST figures as well, or Armor Plus Ronin Warriors. And you can see Sai in the back, or Tsuiko no Shin, and he's using it as well. I actually have another pose for him that he uses for his Chodando, or super ballistic move. It escapes me at the moment what it's called. But anyways, yeah, I like to use those stands for those poses. And you can see on Kongo no Shu and Kori no Seiji, I used the Act 4. Stage Act Volume 4 stands. You can buy that at Hobby Link Japan, Ami Ami, or Hobby Search, 1999.co.jp. And you could probably find it on some Amazon site as well, but they obviously they're gonna charge at retail, or closer to retail, because of the import duties and stuff, and the shipping and whatnot. And the reason why I brought these stands up is because I've dropped my YST figures, like one Under Armour figure, like 2 feet, and then I found a hairline crack on the joint already. Like, I didn't even drop it on the leg. It was on the body or the head or something, and I just thought that was really dumb. And I think that having the stands clip onto the waist takes some stress away from the joints when they're standing, and it gives you less of an excuse to mess around with them. That's my second reason. My third reason is that they're more stable, and like they're not prone to falling down. So yeah. So now that you've got the Vaseline in there and it's nice and slippery, you're going to want to pop the joint out. You're going to want to put your thumb and your pointer finger on the waist for support, and then just take your nail and your thumb and then your pointer finger and just dig it in there. Just make sure to pull it out that way. Don't just like that. And then you're gonna want to take that Vaseline and then just dip it in there, and then roll it in there, and then hold it like this so that the parts don't spread apart. The two hip joints, because they're really thin, and they're flexible, and they could make a hairline crack. So now that I've showed you some of the more common ways to break the hip, I'm going to show you a more invasive way, but This way, it's not for the faint of heart. So if you're like scared of breaking your joint, this isn't for you. And I'm gonna have more stuff at the end, so stay tuned. So you're gonna want to take um, a bowl of water and put it in the microwave for like a minute, right? And then once you have that, you just take, you just grip both sides of the leg and just pull it apart. Now, I find that um, um, it's hard to take the knee out, the knee joint, like from here. But I've done it before, but it made marks. I used an adjustable, like wrench, or not wrench, but one of those vice grips, and I got it out, but there was marks, and I don't think I'll do that again. So once you leave it in there in the water for a couple seconds, you're gonna want to take like something like this. I use this for Gunpla models or Gundam models, and I basically just put it in there. This is gonna be more malleable, so you can just pry it out, and then you're gonna want to put some Vaseline in there, or dry it off first, and then put Vaseline in there, and then it'll be less tight, the joint, and you'll be able to rotate it. So there's that. The more invasive way of doing this. Also, you're going to want to note that these legs have another thing that I forgot to mention. I actually I have these shop rags from I bought these from Walmart, and I find these better than the brownie type towels because they have less stuff like those like white grainy things coming off the paper. So I find these useful for that. And you're gonna want to just like wipe off all the excess. And the most common figures I wanted to tell you were Sai and the first release Ryo. And since there's two versions of him, and also there's the more common figure for the Inferno Armor is the gloss version. I know a lot of stores had some back stock or new old stock of that figure because nobody was buying it. I guess they didn't like the whole gloss version part of it. Well, anyways, if you want donor figures, these are the two to go for. And the most expensive ones, or at least to my knowledge, are these two, Kongo no Shu and Sage, Kori no Seiji. So you're gonna want to pop that joint off like that, and you just take these parts off, and imagine I just put it on the new one. Just put that one in and just pop it in there, and it should be as good as new, hopefully, if you did it right. If not, you probably have a sad face because you just broke your new donor joint. So you're going to want to note that these legs have indicators of if they're left or right. So the knee right here has L for left, and then you're going to see on the foot it has an L on it as well, so that's really helpful. So you're just going to want to pop it back in there and do that, and just remove the tape. Hopefully this doesn't come off with the tape. or you realize that it comes off and you don't lose it. By the way, I have a couple of extra parts because I have doubles of everything, so just shoot me a PM or whatever. Uh, just to let me know if you need any like faces or hair or like Under Armour stuff. I have some hip connectors as well for like the armor stands, so if you need those or weapons or anything like that, just give me a PM. And so yeah. Okay, so there's a couple of things I wanted to show you. There's this message board that I go on from time to time. It's called TFW 2005, and I found them out through Google, and just Google tfw2005.com and put Armor Plus YST or Yoroiden Samurai Troopers or Ronin Warriors or whatever you want to put. And then on the last couple of pages, I've been reading and that more and more people are having these hip joint issues, so I'm glad that I'm not the only one. Uh, as dark as that might sound, but I've been reading that that there is a place to complain, and it's called, let's see the web's URL. It's bandai.com/support/contact.php, and this is for the Bandai America, and I just shot them a email complaining about the hip breaks, and if they could maybe forward this message to Tamashii Nations in Japan, and just to let them know for future incarnations in the Armor Plus line, so we don't have to deal with this crap again. And there's another community that I found. It's on Facebook, and it's a Yoroiden Samurai Troopers Armor Plus thing, and that's how I found out some of my news back in the early days when the web shop exclusives were just coming out. And like I said before, in 2014 July, Kuroiki Kote is going to come out, and basically I've just been trying to maintain my figures to pose them, getting ready. It's March, and I still haven't ordered my 2 figures yet, but like I said before, you're gonna want, it's maintenance. You're gonna want to do this from time to time. This Vaseline thing, because it dries out. And I found that some of the newer figures like Seiji and Sai or Shin have had the lubrication done to them right when I took them out of the box. I don't know if my proxy, or not my proxy service, CD Japan, I don't know if they like open the box to check the figures to see if they're missing parts or whatever, or if the hips were broken. But I found some lubrication in there, so they're gonna want to do that from time to time. And so yeah, I just wanted to say that if you guys could help me out, complain, and do whatever it takes to let Tamashii Nations know about this problem, I'd really appreciate it. I mean, these figures are really expensive. I know and that back in 2009, the standard release for Yo was around 7,000 yen, but the latest release of Mukala, or Kuroiki Kote, is now clocking in at 9,000 yen, so not cheap at all. So yeah, help me out here, guys. So that pretty much does it for what I wanted to say and what I wanted to show you during this video. Thanks for watching. Please rate, subscribe, and comment, as I always appreciate that. Hopefully I'll not be lazy enough to do a review on Kuroiki Kote, so watch out for that. Thanks again for watching. This is JP554731 signing out. See you guys later.